President Trump signing an executive order to try and drive down the cost of prescription drugs. There is now a 30-day deadline for drug makers to lower prices or face new limits down the road on what the government will pay.
It may sound good for customers, but independent pharmacists worry, and they tell NBC 10's Temitope Adlea there needs to be reform.
President Trump signs an executive order to try and cut the price of pharmaceutical drugs.
Some prescription drug and pharmaceutical prices will be reduced almost immediately by 50 to 80 to 90%.
Both commercially and for Medicare and Medicaid. This could also include weight loss drugs like Ozempic. He says this will ensure that Americans pay the same prices that people from other nations pay. According to the Rand Corporation, Americans pay up to 10 times more for medications than people in other similarly wealthy nations.
Big Pharma will either abide by this principle voluntarily or will use the power of the federal government to ensure that we are paying the same price as other countries.
It's exciting for the customers, but actually not for the independent pharmacies.
Charles Ogwanobi, the pharmacist at AJ's Pharmacy in Providence, says the executive order could mean fewer independent pharmacies and more business for bigger name pharmacy chains. He's in favor of the price cuts as long as there is reform to help sustain independent pharmacies.
The PBMs, the pharmacy benefit managers, they don't pay us enough money. For example, we can buy a drug for $100. Say the president cut down the price to $50. The PBMs only pays us $10. We're losing money. So how does that benefit us?
NBC News reports that in theory, PBMs are supposed to save patients money, but government findings accuse them of inflating the prices of drugs.
What the president needs to do is not just to bring down the cost of drugs, he needs to reform how pharmacists are getting paid. PBMs like CVS.
The Trump administration plans to meet with drug manufacturers soon to negotiate, with a 1-month deadline to bring down prices. If not, they could force them to follow a, quote, most favored nation model pricing, which would mean Americans pay the prices given to other developed countries. Providence, Temitope Adlea, NBC 10 News.